Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley had themselves a fight at Revolution. But what made this story of Blood Brothers so epic? Let's get into it. What is up? My name is Lloyd and this is the Middle Card, which are my takes on the world of professional wrestling and all of its ins and outs. So let's go. Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers. Because that's all this really was. This was just a fight between brothers. So I'm going to drop my analogy and hopefully you guys can rock with me. Okay. So I'm an older brother. And me and my little brother, we had the Super Nintendo. And what we used to do is we played the game Street Fighter. Okay? Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter, all of the Street Fighters that were available. Now naturally, because I was the older brother, I was always better than him. Because, I'm older, so my reflexes are more developed. I have better strategies when it comes to the game. I have my combo that I always go to, that I always know that would get him regardless of the situation. Not good enough to beat the computer, but good enough to beat him. And as he got older, and his reflexes got better, and he became wiser to what it was that I was doing, he started to get better and better and closer and closer. And the more that happened, the more that, I would start to panic a little bit more and I'd be barely squeaking by until the day it happened and he beat me. Until the day that he beat me. I could have been like 200-0, probably even more. And then the day came and he actually beat me at Street Fighter. And I was pissed. I was livid. I probably threw my controller around. I probably turned off the game. Because it was my Super Nintendo that I bought with like paper route money and stuff like that, I probably turned off the game and was like, "You're banned. You're banned. You're never playing this game again. Stupid game." Things of that nature. And that's what we were seeing play out. Let's set this up. So, Danielson's been watching Moxley for weeks. Danielson throws out this proposal that, hey, I know you think that I want to fight you, but really, I want to join forces with you because we can shape the future together. Moxley counters with, I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but I don't join forces with anybody until I bleed with them first. Then Mox goes on further, and what he says is, I can't help but think that in the back of my head, because I've never beaten you before, that you want to join forces with me so that you do not have to fight me. Because I think that I can beat you. Now, of course, Danielson accepts the challenge, thinking that there's no way, because it's never happened before, why would it happen now? How much closer could he have gotten to me in order for him to actually beat me? He would never ever see it coming. So before I go into the back end of this, which is why this is a fight between brothers. Let me go into my favorite parts of the match. Okay, I think my first favorite part of the match was obviously when Moxley goes for Tope suicide dive, and then Danielson runs in the ring because he's outside the ring, of course. Mox checks himself, then Danielson goes for the suicide dive, then Mox catches him, and then they start scrapping. That was freaking awesome, to the point where they go and they hit each other with elbows, and then that's the point in time when they both start showing blood. Moxley more than Danielson, but that just lets you know that this is just a fight. That's what I love about this, and I know deep down inside, I've always known that Jon Moxley was really, really good. I just haven't actually seen it all the time, but this just shows me like he's in that upper stratosphere. Okay, my second favorite part of the match. It's probably when Mox was going for the bulldog, or he was going back and forth between the rear naked choke and bulldog choke, and Danielson's countering with dragon sleepers, deeply wrenched in dragon sleepers. That part I found was so cool. But I think my absolute favorite part of the match was Danielson starts going for the head stomps, where he's like, I'm gonna kick his head in, and then Mox trips him, and then they're both kicking each other in the face back and forth. Then Mox gets the better of him, he's holding him by the hand, and then he just starts stomping on him. So, of course, this leads to the finish of the match. Danielson gets Mox into the triangle choke. He starts laying in the elbows. This is actually how Anderson Silva, thinking about John Silver. Anderson Silva, the GOAT, beat Travis Lutter back in the day. So Anderson Silva went and hit him with the triangle choke, and then he just started nailing Travis Lutter to the point where I don't think Travis Lutter actually gave up due to the submission. I think he gave up due to the continued elbow strikes to his head, but I have to go back and look at that. Anyways, Mox then flips over and turns it into a pin, even though technically, if you look at it, I believe Danielson's shoulder was up. So then this then leads to Danielson confronting the referees, like, what the hell, that wasn't a pin, which technically it wasn't. It was not a pin. And then Mox is like, what, you have a problem with this? You want to fight about it? And then, of course, Danielson threw the first shot. Because you know what? The first thing that'll happen when a brother beats another brother, and that older brother did not see it coming, they are going to want to fight about it to prove their dominance once again. And then they start scrapping. And then what happens? William Regal comes out in the parent role. What does he do? He disciplines his children, basically. You have Moxley on one side, and he's there and he's pointing at Danielson. He's like, he started it. And Regal's like, I don't care who started it. And then he slaps him. And when he does that, you have Danielson, the older brother, in the back, and he's there laughing like, ha ha ha, you got disciplined by dad, basically, until dad turns around and he slaps him too. And then what would a parent do after he disciplines his children? He goes and he says, shake hands and move on. And that's the story. It's the story of brothers fighting. Blood brothers in this sense, because Mox threw out the idea that they need to bleed together. But for that reason and that reason alone, this was freaking awesome. It was a simple story. It reminded me of my Street Fighter days. I'm excited to see where this faction is going, who they make a part of it. I think an idea was thrown out that Layla Hirsch would be perfect for something like this, and then of course there's a bunch of different names that they could add to it. So I'm super excited for it. You know what? Let's go.